Iran's government has long disapproved of the more decadent parts of Western society, and that, it seems, includes certain haircuts. So, a new state-approved catalogue of approved styles is likely to have adverse effects for one, the national football team. Under the rules, long hair and ponytails are out, which is a problem for the goalkeeper Saeed Ramati. And mullets are also frowned upon, a potential problem for the midfielder Pejman Nouri. Let's get a little more on the politics of the ponytail. Go to Patrick Granfield in Abu Dhabi. He's a journalist on religious and social affairs. Welcome to the programme, Patrick. Ponytails, mullets, spikes, all examples of so-called decadent Western haircuts. To what degree does the government actually prescribe the way people have to wear their hair, or what they wear, indeed?
Well, in the past, at least for men, Nick, they were really allowed wide latitude. It wasn't just soccer players. It wasn't just the football team that was sporting these different hairstyles. I was just talking to an art collector who was in Tehran this past weekend, and he went to an exhibition, and he said that he was actually shocked with the number of hairstyles that he saw on display. Long hair, ponytails for the men, colored hair, sometimes spikes. And you have to remember that 60% of Iran's population is under the age of 30. And because of that, you have this baby boom, which most people associate, especially outside of the Middle East, with last summer's Green Movement. But also, it's not just political. It's also social. It's also cultural. And I think the leadership in Iran is having a hard time getting a handle on that. And that's what these regulations, I think, really bear witness to.
So, for instance, those who do wear hair in the wrong way, say with ponytails or mullets or whatever, does that mean they've now got to go and have their hair cut, or else they'll be in trouble?
Well, there's always a delicate dance between the poetry of the regulations and the prose of what's actually enforced in Iran, particularly if you look at the women. They're supposed to have their hair covered, but more often than not, you'll see the veil sort of towards their sides, towards the shoulders. So it really remains to be seen whether this was just sort of a fig leaf for more conservative elements, for more conservative religious leaders, or whether the Ahmadinejad government and others within the police, particularly in cities like Tehran that are very cosmopolitan, very youthful, whether they'll actually enforce this on the streets, I think, is another question entirely.
And how do people respond on the street when they hear this sort of thing?
Well, I mean, I think it depends on who you talk to. I think one of the things that's easy to forget is that Iran is an incredibly diverse place. Just like any university in the West, you have many students who are more liberal, you have many students who are more conservative, you have those who have served in the army. But certainly you're going to have an element of the population, a large element, because so many of the people there, again, are young in Tehran, who are going to bristle at this. And I think more than anything, it reflects upon the insecurity of the regime that they have to introduce different regulations on hairstyles, and that they feel that the threat from these different styles is enough to actually pass a law banning them.
All right, interesting story. Patrick Granfield, thanks very much indeed for your perspective on this.